Good evening, Tallahassee, and welcome to FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Brittany Bowman.
And I'm student meteorologist Brantley Kike.
And we had another chilly start to our morning, but things did warm up a lot more than usual today.
Yeah, things definitely got pretty warm out there, warmer than what we expected, actually. We thought things were going to be probably in like the lower 60s. We actually got to the upper 60s today, so very warm outside. More like later spring is what it felt like.
For sure, and we will warm up again tomorrow, but we will have that chance of rain tomorrow.
Yeah, so all that heat that does come tomorrow is not good. It's going to help fuel some thunderstorms that are on the way tomorrow night ahead of our next cold front. We're going to be talking about that more here in just a little while.
Yeah, we'll talk more about the severe threats for tomorrow night, but after that, it looks really good. The sunshine will stick around after that, even into next week. So if you have plans this weekend.
But those cold temperatures are coming back.
Yes.
So I'm not a fan of that at all. I was hoping this warm would stick around for a little bit longer.
I can only take so much of the cold. I like the cold, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a fan of winter. I know Groundhog Day is coming up, just a couple weeks away. So hopefully, he predicts an early spring for us because I'm tired of the cold temperatures here.
The big question, I think, all over the United States is, will there be 6 more weeks of winter?
Yeah, who knows? We'll have to wait until February 2nd to find out. We'll have all the details here on our show and online.
Yeah. But let's go more into a local weather, and Brantley's going to head out to the wall to give us a look.
All right, Brittany, yeah, we do have this low pressure system situated over Kansas and Oklahoma right now, and that is associated with a cold front. That cold front is going to sweep down into the Gulf states coming tomorrow, and that's going to bring a squall line later tomorrow night. So the Florida Panhandle could start to see some storms as early as the evening hours tomorrow, and then the Big Bend will see it in the overnight hours. Right now, though, we're just seeing a few passing clouds across the Big Bend, so mostly cloudy skies are expected tonight as some of those storms do start to filter into the area ahead of that front. Winds are going to be at about 10 miles per hour out of the east-southeast. The next few days, we do have a 40 to 50% chance of rain on Wednesday, and that's for the daytime. But overnight, we could see the rain chance go up to around 100% ahead of those thunderstorms. But by Thursday, rain chances drop back down to around 20% once that cold front passes. So cooler temperatures will be moving in right after that. So just to wrap things up, we do have showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, especially tomorrow night in the overnight hours. And then dry, cool conditions will follow once that cold front does pass. So we do have a handful of days here where we'll see nice clear conditions outside, a little bit chilly, but then next week we could see rain chances come back once again as another cold front comes through. It's just that time of the year where we get system after system, so definitely keep the rain gear handy tomorrow and just keep an eye on the forecast as we go into next week because we could see rain chances once again. Now we're going to take a local look at our weather with Ariana.
Thank you, Brantley. Taking a look currently at Tallahassee, I know Brantley was just talking about those cool temperatures coming our way and all that rain coming our way, but right now in Tallahassee, it is a beautiful outside. Look at that sunset behind here. You can't really see it, but if you happen to look outside your window, you'll be able to see that beautiful sunset with those clouds. Right now, it is 62 degrees, partly cloudy, and those winds are coming from the east-southeast, so it's a little breezy outside, but it was a beautiful day today. I hope everyone went out, walked their dog, took a walk, went on a run. I did. It was gorgeous for January in Tallahassee. Taking a look around the region, the temperatures are pretty consistent, mid to low 60s, partly cloudy, just what you saw today outside, like in our area. That dew point is a little high for this time of the year. It's a little bit muggy outside for January. It's nothing like Florida summertime, but in Tallahassee that dew point was at 52 today. Apalachicola, you were at 53 because you are right by the ocean, so it was a tad bit higher than us. You're getting that warm sea breeze air with all that moisture in it. And if you look at the wind right now, it is coming from the east, pushing its way that way, which with all that rain, that wind is going to shift tomorrow, making it come from the north, bringing in that cold air. But right now it is coming from the south, so it is pretty warm and consistent outside. If you look at the satellite, you can see there's not really any clouds above us. There's a little bit of clouds outside, but we are in, there's a high pressure system over our area currently, making those clouds pretty much non-existent before that low pressure system comes tomorrow, bringing all those clouds and rain to our area. So I hope you went outside and enjoyed that beautiful weather before this big bad boy low pressure system came into our area or is coming tomorrow. You can see that right now it is in the Midwest, but no worries, it is moving into our area tomorrow, bringing that rain and cooler temperatures But for tonight, what you can expect, it's going to be beautiful outside, 56 in Tallahassee. Beautiful night to take your dog on a walk. If you already took it on a walk today, you can take it on another walk. Your dog's going to love you, actually, if you take it on 2 walks today. But it's going to be raining tomorrow night, so I suggest going out tonight. Go stargazing. If it's not too cloudy, it'd be a beautiful night. It's going to be gorgeous. Pretty much all around the Big Bend region, mid-50s. But tomorrow, that storm outlook, we are almost under a marginal storm warning, so we could get some severe storms tomorrow night, so it's important to be aware of that and to keep watching and come back and watch tomorrow night, because we're going to have a whole severe storm forecast. If you look at that 36-hour forecast, you can see those clouds are coming in tomorrow, bringing that severe rain that we are talking about all of this show, and that what I've been saying the whole time. But for the week ahead, tomorrow you got your 50% chance to rain. That's going to come later tomorrow night, and it's going to be 73 tomorrow. So it is going to be a beautiful day until that rain comes. And those cold temperatures are going to show up after that storm comes to us tomorrow, making those lows drop. But it's going to be a beautiful weekend, and Brittany's going to tell us about the southeast right now.
Yeah, just as Ariana said before, if you want to take your dog out, today is the good day, and also tomorrow morning if you're more towards in the Florida region, because the southeast is really going to ramp up as we get that severe weather starting tomorrow. But for right now, you can see the cooler temperatures are kind of where this front is just about located. You can really see that difference in temperatures, that blue versus that green. That's where you see that big temperature change, and that will continue making its way towards the southeast. But for now, 62 degrees in Tallahassee and in the 70s down in South Florida. There's a look at those winds bringing in all this moisture onto the Gulf Coast. 14 miles per hour in New Orleans, already getting pretty breezy there, and conditions will get breezier as this low pressure moves in and that high pressure stops dominating, so we'll get that wind shift also, as Ariana was saying before. And because of that onshore flow, you can see all this moisture filtering in all along the Gulf Coast with that 57-degree dew point in Shreveport. It is feeling muggy over there. You can see the drier conditions up to the north because of that high pressure bringing in winds more from the north, but the whole southeast seeing that southerly flow, feeling a lot more moisture. And as this low pressure moves through into the area, the moisture will increase, and behind it you can already see those drier and colder conditions making their way towards your area. But tomorrow for that storm outlook, you can see that marginal risk for severe weather along the Big Bend, but when you zoom in, Tallahassee is just on that edge, so we can't rule out those possibilities of really gusty winds, possibility of a tornado, and definitely that frequent lightning and heavy rain. And also, if you look, Pinellas County also under that marginal risk. They'll be more later in the evening. We're looking more towards closer to midnight, but when you head south, the chance for severe weather will be more towards the overnight hours. For tonight, again, you can see that really defined line of where the temperature is changing. 30s over in Shreveport and Little Rock, and then when you drive a couple hours over to Jackson and New Orleans, you're already seeing temperatures warmer in the 50s and 60s. So that will change as the front moves closer. And tonight for Tallahassee, 56 degrees, and you can see the rain starting to make its way more towards the east. Here's a look at that forecast. You can see things really ramp up starting in the morning hours of Wednesday, making its way towards Tallahassee, and just around 11 p.m., getting closer to midnight. That's when we're going to expect that severe weather. If there's any possibility of heavy winds, heavy rain, lightning, that will be later in onto Wednesday night. As we move into the overnight hours, you can see the squall line moves down towards South Florida, and Tampa Bay will have to be on the lookout for that marginal risk. Here are temperatures for tomorrow. Again, that cold air getting closer and closer. 67 for Montgomery, 69 for Tallahassee, and look at those highs tomorrow in Central Florida. 79 degrees for Tampa and Orlando. That will help for sure with that instability, but Little Rock still seeing some rain and temperatures in the 40s. Now, while things aren't that big of a severe threat, looking back at 2 years ago, it was a different story. Here's Jake in the lab with more.
Thank you. We were lucky to see some sunny skies around Tallahassee today. Unfortunately, 2 years ago today, that was not the case, as we had an unprecedented severe weather outbreak for this time of year and for this part of the country. January 22nd, 2017 was really a historic day for all the wrong reasons in our area, with 7 tornadoes recorded in the area defined by the Tallahassee National Weather Service Tallahassee office, including 2 EF3 tornadoes that occurred in parts of southwestern Georgia, which we'll break down a little bit more. Overall, there were 16 fatalities associated with this event, all on January 22nd, although this was a 2-day outbreak in terms of the severe weather itself here, with extensive straight-line wind damage also recorded throughout the area. The morning of January 22nd, a low-pressure system rapidly strengthened over portions of Alabama, with this front draped across the Gulf of Mexico that swept through the Tallahassee area. During the afternoon hours, this, along with the instability and a very hefty amount of vertical wind shear in the lower levels of the atmosphere, contributed to a very rare high risk, level 5 out of 5 by the Storm Prediction Center, something that we do not see around here very often, that you see more commonly in, say, parts of the Central Plains in peak severe weather season there in the springtime. So this contributed to, again, we said 7 tornadoes. 2 of these were EF3, and we're going to talk about those. The Albany, Georgia tornado, which occurred at 3:15 p.m., and it lasted for over an hour, tracking 70 miles. That is not something that you see in this part of the country very often. EF3 rating after the damage survey was performed. We see some extensive damage in Worth County, Georgia, along with this imagery here of the radar reflectivity showing a powerful supercell thunderstorm, as well as this radar couplet that you see here in the velocities, the red and the green clustered together very closely, indicating that strong localized rotation. And we saw similar features with the EF3 Adele tornado that also occurred that day. This occurred earlier in the day in southwestern Georgia, a little bit south of Albany, and we see here this very tiny, if you are able to make this out, blue patch here in this correlation coefficient. And what this basically means is it indicates the possibility of debris being lofted by a tornado that is actively on the ground, in addition to these other features that we usually associate with tornadoes here. This was the imagery from the National Weather Service of a home destroyed in Berrien County, Georgia. This unfortunately went through a trailer park as well and killed 7 people in that area, as well as 11 overall on its track. For more information on the outbreak, feel free to visit this web link right here. We're going to send things back out to the wall now.
Here's a look at the temperatures across America right now. We do have temperatures dropping to around freezing in places like Chicago and Kansas City. Already below freezing, though, for places farther north like Minneapolis and Detroit. They are seeing some light rain showers turning over into sleet and snow in these locations. We do have a bunch of winter advisories over there. Meanwhile, in the southeast, nice and mild. New Orleans up to 70 degrees right now, so above average for the Gulf Coast. Tallahassee down to around 62 degrees where the sun just set. Dew points looking nice and moist across the Gulf Coast. Dew points around 57 degrees and 55 in San Antonio, 56 in Dallas-Fort Worth. Much drier, though, behind this cold front. A low-pressure system situated over Oklahoma and Kansas will be moving towards the Gulf Coast over the next day or so, and that's going to help bring a squall line to us along. That's right ahead of this cold front here. So going into tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night, we're going to see all this moisture here, which is this blue color on the screen, move towards the Big Bend. We do have a little bit of drier air, though, behind this system. The southwest right now, very dry conditions and very low humidity. Upper level water vapor not showing much right now. The satellite radar does show a few rain showers already starting to fire up in the Arklatex region. We do have some heavier showers over Arkansas. And then as we head farther north, we start to see where that rain changes over into sleet, and then a mixture of sleet and snow, and eventually just some heavy snow for parts of the Midwest right now. And because of that, we do have some watches and warnings in effect for them. Similar story over on the Pacific Northwest. We do have some snow in the higher elevations, but rain as you're closer to the ground. And we do have a lot of winter weather advisories right now. That's this purple color stretching all the way across the northern half of the country. And then we do have some winter storm warnings that are in these pink colors right here for places like northern Illinois and Michigan. We do have a winter storm watch, though, in effect for places in North Dakota. And we also have some wind advisories in effect. We might see a wind advisory here, actually, going into the next day or so after that cold front passes. But wind advisory in effect for places like Tennessee and Kentucky, and that's because winds could gust as high as 35 miles per hour pretty frequently, too. Going into our storm outlook, this is from the Storm Prediction Center. On a scale of 1 to 5, Tallahassee is under a 1 right now, which is a marginal risk. So we could see some isolated severe storms. A tornado or two cannot be ruled out, but we could expect to see some pretty gusty winds and maybe some heavy rainfall too with some of these storms. So this does go for most of the Big Bend, or the western side of the Big Bend, stretching over Panama City, Destin, Fort Walton Beach, and Pensacola. So we could see some pretty heavy thunderstorms going into the overnight hours. tomorrow. Tonight's forecast, though, some rain showers for New Orleans and Atlanta, and maybe in Dallas they could see a little bit of rain too, maybe turning over into snow once things cool off there. And then tomorrow things will warm back up for the Sunshine State, up to around 80 degrees in Tampa, Tallahassee around 69. So very warm for this time of the year, and that heat is just going to add fuel to those storms that will be moving through again tomorrow in the overnight hours. Now we're going to take a look here at things at the locally with Jennifer.
Thank you, Brandley. And as we take a look around Tallahassee, we're staying fairly cool for this time, 62 degrees. With those partly cloudy skies, we have a bit more moisture because winds are out of the east, which is allowing for that humidity to increase quite a bit, which is the reason why we have some cloud cover in the sky. Temperatures around the region, 61 degrees for Thomasville, as well as 64 degrees in Bainbridge, a little bit warmer in these locations. But we have a lot of cloud cover in the area. That's because dew points are a bit higher for this time of the year, about 40 in the mid-40s to even 50s for some areas. So a bit higher in the dew points means a little bit more humidity in the air, as although these are not summertime dew points, so we are staying fairly dry for the Big Bend region. Winds are out of the east, which is increasing the humidity as well, heading into the next storm system that will make its way into the area, as high pressure is allowing for those winds to make their way out of the east for the Big Bend region. But the next storm system is this low pressure system in the center of the country. We're going to see this cold front start to ramp up as we get into tomorrow and even into the overnight hours tomorrow night. We even have the chance for severe weather, like Brantley was saying earlier. Here locally, we're keeping with fairly clear skies heading into the overnight hours. We can expect cloud cover to increase a bit heading into tomorrow. We even have a chance for rain in the area as well. Heading into the muggy meter, we are fairly moist for most of the southeast, heading into Florida. Tallahassee staying a little bit more on the muggier side, and that's the reason why we're seeing a lot more cloud cover as well. Tonight's forecast, 53 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Expect those clouds to ramp up as we get into tomorrow morning with that easterly wind at 10 miles per hour. When you wake up tomorrow morning, expect a chilly one. We'll see temperatures around 57 degrees, but it will start to warm up as we get into the afternoon, as well as the cloud cover increasing quite a bit, about 66 degrees as we get into 11 a.m. heading into the noon hours. Your 36-hour forecast, expect the cloud covers heading throughout tomorrow morning, but when we get into tomorrow night, we'll start to see the rain chances ramp up quite a bit, and heading into Thursday in the overnight hours, we could especially see a squall line heading into the area, and we can see a chance for severe weather heading into Thursday overnight as well. Heading into Wednesday overnight into Thursday morning, expect the rain to continue as well. We'll even have cloud cover after that squall line makes its way through, and then keeping with mostly sunny conditions as we head out into the weekend. Storm outlook for tomorrow, expect marginal chance. We could even see some severe storms possible with this. And looking at your week ahead, expect the rain heading into tomorrow and into Thursday as well. The severe chance is for Wednesday night, but that sunshine does return as we head into the weekend. Expect those temperatures to be in the upper 50s, seeing seeing lower 60s as well, but those low temperatures are going to dip down quite a bit into the 30s. However, heading into tomorrow night, that's when the severe weather starts to come back, and that's when we're actually going to see an increase in rain, an increase in severe storms for tomorrow night heading into Thursday morning.
Yeah, so it's very important to be aware of this. Even though it is the middle of the night, you're probably going to be sleeping. It's still important to know what's happening, because these storms are going to be pretty severe and isolated, which makes them even more severe, and possibilities for tornadoes, it increases.
Especially with overnight. I know the southeast is very prominent for overnight tornadoes, especially when it comes to severe weather. So a lot of people don't really go outside during these times, but it is important to stay indoors when these severe storms do roll through the area, especially if you have any warnings or watches out.
Yes, because these storms can bring lots of lightning, which we all know lightning is not good, and you don't want to get struck by lightning. But these are very serious storms, and it's important to be aware and stay inside and just stay safe, because it can be very serious. There could be flooding happening too with lots of heavy rain. There was a lot of reds and yellows on that radar, which means very heavy rain for short periods of time, however long it's coming for. But it's a lot of rain. So there could be isolated flooding.
And being under a marginal risk, there is the chance for tornadoes, especially with isolated severe storms. We could see the chance for a tornado watch actually being issued heading into tomorrow. So that is something to look into as we get into tomorrow and into Thursday morning. We'll even have it on the show tomorrow. Severe weather is heading into the area, so that is something to say again.
Yeah, to say it again,
yes.
Severe weather is coming. It's very important to just know. Watch tomorrow, actually, because you'll learn a lot more about it. But right now, I'm going to take it out to the wall, actually, to tell you what's happening about a little around Florida right now. You can see this week ahead right here. But for the temperatures around Florida, you can expect for right now what is happening pretty moderate, and it's like the same it's been all day. You got your normal Miami, 72 degrees, feeling good in Miami. In Tallahassee, it's feeling great at 62 degrees. It's been beautiful all day, like we've been saying. Right now, the sun has set, so you've got those clouds in the air. If you take a look at the muggy meter, those dew points were pretty high in the Tallahassee area today, making it feel a little more muggier than usual for this typical January day. In the south, you can see Miami, you're pretty high on the muggy meter. You've got that humid face, which is pretty normal for your time of the year, but it may be a little sticky outside. Of course, it's going to be like that because you are by the water and you are getting that air from the water coming into your area. Like I said, those winds are coming from the south, bringing that warm, moist air up to your area, making that air pretty muggy. We've got some, honestly, it's been getting pretty, the winds have been picking up a little bit in the south, and they are moving from the south, but you can see that the satellite and radar for the country around us, you can see this low pressure system. This has been the topic of the day. This is the weather that we have been talking about. Right now it is over Oklahoma and Texas, but it is coming our way. It is going to bring those cold temperatures from that dry air behind it, but tomorrow this is what is going to be bringing you that severe weather and that rain. So it's important to keep watch and just be aware of that. If you look at the satellite and radar right now, we got a high pressure system over all of Florida, meaning that there are very few clouds in the sky, drier air. It's very normal, actually, a high pressure system, and that low pressure system is coming in, bringing those marginal airs to our area. If you look at that, you can see the screen, the marginal air, but Tallahassee, we are under the thunderstorm air warning, but I think, honestly, tomorrow it could be a little more worse than we're seeing here, so it is just important to stay aware. In the forecast right now, you can see this huge low pressure system coming our way. This is what it's going to look like tomorrow night around like Thursday at 12 a.m. Just be aware because those storms could be dangerous and turn out to be dangerous. So it's important to just watch your Weather Channel app or watch us here. But for tonight, you can expect in Tallahassee 56 degrees. It's going to be a beautiful night. I recommend going to take your dog on a walk before that rain comes tomorrow. Like we've been warning you, all around Florida, it is very nice outside. All the dogs will be happy in Florida tonight with their walks. But for tomorrow, what you can expect around Florida, Miami, you're feeling very nice at 78 degrees. Fort Myers, you're feeling even better at 82 for this January day. It is going to be a beautiful day around Florida until those storms come later at night. But for right now, Brantley is going to give you the last local forecast for us.
Thanks, Ariana. Here's a live look behind our current conditions at Doak Campbell Stadium. A nice sunset is underway with partly cloudy skies in the area. We could see some more clouds filter into the area later tonight, though, ahead of that frontal system. Temperatures right now sitting in the lower to mid 60s across most of the area. 62 for Tallahassee, 64 for Quincy. Down on the coast around Apalachicola sitting at 62 as well. Dew points right now are pretty low. We do have dew points around 46 for Bainbridge, 50 for Thomasville, 52 for Tallahassee. So we are in that comfortable range. Things are not too oppressive out there. We do have winds coming off the east coast right now. So winds out of the east or east-southeast for most of the area, anywhere from 5 to 10 miles per hour. Those winds will change direction, though, tomorrow as that system does move through. Taking a look at the big picture, we see this low-pressure system over Texas or over Oklahoma and Kansas. That's what's going to move towards the Gulf Coast and help bring these showers and storms in the next day or so. So we are going to be watching very closely as these storms do move into the Big Bend region. Tonight, we do expect a low near 56 degrees for Tallahassee, 58 along the coast there for St. Mark's. So a little bit warmer along the coast. Our day planner for tomorrow, not too bad starting off. Around 60 degrees in the morning, so pretty warm out there. Might be a good day to go out for a nice jog in the morning. By noon, though, clouds move in, so very cloudy conditions. And then in the afternoon, we'll start to see our first round of showers move in. But warm conditions still, 70 degrees. And all that heat is just going to act as fuel for those thunderstorms tomorrow. Our latest forecast model does time things out for us and show the most rain coming in late tomorrow night, so around midnight, Wednesday night going into Thursday. We do have these heavy pockets of yellow and orange on our screen, and that indicates very heavy rainfall, but the heaviest rain is going to be in this red color, so that should be coming through also in the early morning hours. But by the time you wake up, just a few clouds and lingering showers will be left. So Wednesday, we do have that 50% chance of rain during the daytime, a high near 73, so much higher than what we would normally expect this time of the year. Going into Wednesday night, though, that rain chance jumps up to around 100% with thunderstorms possible. And then Thursday, around 20% chance of rain with a high near 58. So much cooler after that cold front passes through the area. And then we're going to go back here and just take a look at this Storm Prediction Center one more time. Never mind, we don't have that on this here. But we are going to be watching basically once this does come off the Gulf tomorrow. So when this line of thunderstorms does move through, we're going to expect these storms to move off the Gulf. So that's why this area is highlighted in green across the panhandle. So we will be watching for water spouts possibly moving off the Gulf Coast and then on shore there. So we will be watching this very closely as that squall line does move through the Florida Panhandle and the Big Bend, and then we could see some pretty gusty winds there as high as 60 miles per hour in some of these storms if they do become severe. So strong thunderstorms are expected late tomorrow night.
Well, we do have this chance for severe weather, like Brantley was saying. Heading into tomorrow, with those chances of severe weather, it is important to stay weather aware heading into tomorrow night.
Absolutely. So make sure you do have multiple ways to receive watches and warnings. So that could be on your mobile phone, on the radio, or on TV. We'll have all of the watches and warnings on our social media as well. So definitely stay tuned to that.
But after the severe weather, it's going to be pretty nice heading into the weekend, won't it?
Yeah, it will look nice outside. It's still going to feel very cold, though. So we're going to have those cooler temperatures move back in, though, once a cold front does pass back through. So those cold air, much drier conditions will be moving through tomorrow night. So our futurecast here showing it once again. We do have those pockets of heavy rainfall moving through the area around 12:30 tomorrow night. So midnight to around 1 a.m. we should expect the heaviest of rain to be in the area. So some heavy thunder and lightning is expected with those storms. A lot of those storms coming off the Gulf of Mexico.
Yes, and we do have the chance for those squall lines as we are in that marginal risk, so it is important to stay weather aware as we head into tomorrow. Heavy rain, frequent downpours associated with this, and lightning especially.
Yeah, so we will be watching that for any watches or warnings. We'll have more details on it, too, on tomorrow night's show, so make sure you're tuned back in for an update tomorrow. And make sure that you follow us on our social media. We're going to be posting about this for the next day or so as well, so we'll have all the updates available online.
Yes, and as we head into tomorrow and into the weekend, we'll actually see temperatures dipping down like we were saying earlier. After that rain heading into tomorrow, we will have the better forecast. But you can follow us on Twitter with all of those updates, especially heading into severe weather tomorrow.
And you can also like us on Facebook. We'll have an update on there as well at FSU Weather.
And you can also watch us on YouTube at FSU Weather. We post all of our videos there after the show.
Yeah, and please send us your pictures. We feature them on Instagram as well as our other social media. We love to see them outside. But make sure if you're taking pictures of the storms that you do it from a safe location. We don't want anyone to be in harm's way trying to send us their pictures.
Here from FSU Weather Studios, I'm student meteorologist Jennifer Collins.
And I'm student meteorologist Brantley Kite. Good night.